Good morning. We're going to go ahead and call the Board of Health meeting together, and we'll start with roll call.
Holm?
Here.
Hawkinsmith?
Here.
Connolly?
Here.
Altringer? Here. McCoy?
Here.
So, public hearing, amendments to Health Rules, Chapter 5, Air Pollution.
Is proof of publication on file?
Yes.
Is there anyone here to speak to the issue before us on air pollution? If not, I will go ahead. Oh,
I'm Jennifer Bradley. I am the air permit engineer for the Air Quality Division. I was one of the people instrumental in the code revisions, and I'm here to answer questions if there are any.
why don't you just tell us what we're doing today and what this is about, and as it relates to our air pollution?
Okay, well, according to Senate File 558, our code needs to be consistent with state codes. So we have been in the process, this was a completely comprehensive revision of our code to make sure it's consistent with state code. We've been working with the DNR, and there have been several in-person meetings and going back and forth, reviewing documents. This has been in process for about a year and a half. And the big parts that were revised were our exemptions for construction permitting. We were more stringent before, and now all of our exemptions are consistent. And our opacity standard has been increased to it was 20%, it's now 40% to be consistent with the state. These changes are necessary to maintain our program approval with the state.
Thank you. I think that's great to know that, and I knew there was some new legislation, so that's helpful. Is there anyone else that wishes to speak on the subject? If not, I'll close the hearing and ask for
Second.
a motion and roll call.
The resolution is a resolution proposing amendments to Health Rules, Chapter 5, Air Pollution, and directing Auditor's Office to publish notice of second public hearing on April 8th, 2025.
Roll call.
Holm?
Yes.
Hawkinsmith?
Yes.
Connolly?
Yes.
Altringer?
Yes.
McCoy?
Yes. At this time, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Moved. Second.
Roll
Holm?
call.
Hawkinsmith?
Yes.
Connolly?
Yes.
Altringer? Yes. McCoy?
Yes. Okay, at this time, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order for the regular meeting of the Polk County Board of Supervisors. We'll start with a roll call.
Holm?
Here.
Hawkinsmith?
Here.
Connolly?
Yes.
Altringer? Here. McCoy?
Here. Action on the minutes from the previous meeting.
Move. Second.
Roll call.
Holm?
Yes.
Hawkinsmith?
Yes.
Connolly?
Yes.
Altringer? Yes. McCoy?
Yes. Any special claims?
None.
Action on the bill list is submitted by the county auditor. Roll call.
Holm?
Yes.
Hawkinsmith?
Yes.
Connolly?
Yes.
Altringer? Yes. McCoy?
Yes. This time we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First public hearing is on the issuance of $237,830,000 general obligation capital loan notes, Series 2025A.
Is proof of publication on file?
Yes.
Is there anyone here to speak? Elizabeth, would you mind coming up and talking a little bit about what we're doing today? Help explain everything?
I'm John Bunz. I'm bond counsel with Allers and Cooney. I'm a partner of Elizabeth's, and I've been working on the airport financing,
Okay.
so I'll take this one.
Thank you.
What you have here today is a public hearing, which is required by the Internal Revenue Code to issue private activity airport revenue bonds. You issued your first series last year. This is the second and final series, which is subject to the referendum held November last. So you have a public hearing in the amount of not to exceed $237,830, which is the remaining amount subject to the referendum maximum amount allowed. So if there's any questions about the proceedings or the language in the notice, let me know. Otherwise, you could open your public hearing.
So will this be the final series?
Yes, yep,
You
that's correct.
anticipate this being the final, okay.
Correct.
And we did do a board staff on this as well.
Correct.
Just to remind the body that we did do that. Is there anyone else wishing to speak on this topic today from the public? If not, I'll close the hearing and ask for a motion and roll call.
The resolution is number 6, resolution instituting proceedings to take additional action for the issuance in one or more series of not to exceed $237,830,000 aggregate principal amounts of general obligation capital loan notes, Series 2025A exempt facility bonds, AMT, of Polk County, Iowa.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Holm?
Yes.
Hawkinsmith?
Yes.
Connolly? Supervisor Connolly? Altringer?
Yes.
McCoy?
Yes.
I'm here, yes.
Thank you. Next public hearing is on the issuance of $10 million general obligation bonds or capital loan notes, ECP1.
Is proof of publication on file?
Yes.
Is there anyone wishing to speak today? Elizabeth, I think you're on.
Elizabeth Burnett with Allers and Cooney, here as bond counsel. I'm working with the county on the CIP portion. So the next following actions are 3 hearings on the CIP projects for fiscal year 2026. This creates the authority to issue the bonds, and then the final action will be authorizing the pre-levy, which authorizes the county to levy taxes for this fiscal year to finance the bonds.
Thank you. Is there anyone else wishing to speak on this item today? If not, I'll close the hearing and ask for a motion.
The resolution is number 7, resolution instituting proceedings to take additional action for the issuance of not to exceed $10 million general obligation bonds or capital loan notes, ECP1.
Move. Second.
Roll call.
Holm?
Yes.
Hawkinsmith?
Yes.
Connolly?
Yes.
Altringer?
Yes.
McCoy?
Yes.
The next public hearing is on issuance of $1,950,000 general obligation bonds or capital loan notes, ECP2.
Is proof of publication on file?
Yes.
Is there anyone wishing to speak to this item today? If not, I'll close the hearing and ask for a motion.
Resolution number 8, resolution instituting proceedings to take additional action for the issuance of not to exceed $1,950,000 general obligation bonds or capital loan notes, ECP2.
Move. Second.
Roll call.
Holm?
Yes.
Hawkinsmith?
Yes.
Connolly?
Yes.
Altringer?
Yes.
McCoy?
Yes.
The next public hearing is on the issuance of $1,950,000 general obligation bonds or capital loan notes, ECP3.
Is proof of publication on file?
Yes.
Is there anyone wishing to speak to this item today? If not, I'll go ahead and close the hearing. Ask for a motion.
The resolution is number 9, resolution instituting proceedings to take additional action for the issuance of not to exceed $1,950,000 general obligation bonds or capital loan notes, ECP3.
Moved. Second.
Roll call.
Holm?
Yes.
Hawkinsmith?
Yes.
Connolly?
Yes.
Altringer?
Yes.
McCoy?
Yes.
And number 10, resolution authorizing the issuance of $13,280,000 general obligation bonds or capital loan notes, Series 2025, and levying a tax for the payment thereof.
So moved. Second.
Roll call?
Holm? Hawkinsmith? Connolly?
Yes.
Altringer? Yes. McCoy?
Yes.
Now, public comments.
Yes.
Now is the time for public comments.
Good morning.
Good morning, Supervisors. My name is Carol Maher. I'm a resident of downtown Des Moines. This is the first time I've been to one of your meetings, so I'm so excited to be here. It was great timing because I've been an elections worker for several elections here in the county, which is great fun, and I would encourage anyone to do it. It's a great way to spend a long day.
It is a long day.
Yeah, but it's democracy, baby.
Yes.
I'm excited about the move, although as a downtown resident, it was great being able to walk to training. And like most things, when we talk about buildings and residences in Des Moines, a big focus is put on the parking. So I appreciate that you talked about the new River Place being on a bus route. One thing I'd also ask you to encourage is that it is also on a really great bike trail. As a bicyclist, the way I would get there would be to take the trail downtown right to the River Place. The bike racks you have there are a little deficient, so you might want to look at that as part of this program. Also, I'd encourage you and hope you have indoor bike storage for employees that work there, because we should be encouraging people to ride their bike, not only to go vote or to get trained on how to support other voters, but to go to work. And having indoor storage is key. And then as far as the disposition of the building, I appreciate that was asked. Again, as a Des Moines resident, I would love to get that back on the tax roll. So if you could perhaps give that up and put it back on the private market, that'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Those are all well taken points, and I appreciate your comments today. Anyone else wishing to speak today to the board? If not, we'll go ahead and move on.
Permits. Numbers 12 and 13 are renewal applications for Class C retail alcohol licenses with outdoor service for Jester Park Golf Course 11949 Northwest 118th Avenue Granger and Terrace Hills Golf Course 8700 Northeast 46th Avenue Altoona. And number 14, renewal application for Class C retail alcohol license for Society Vittoria Italiana 7200 Northwest 2nd Avenue Ankeny.
Roll call?
Holm?
Yes.
Hawkinsmith?
Yes.
Connolly?
Yes.
Altringer? Yes. McCoy?
Yes.
Resolutions. Number 15, resolution approving the final plat of the Oaks at White Oaks. Numbers 16 and 17 are resolutions authorizing Auditor's Office to publish notice of public hearing on March 25th to consider plans, specifications, form of contract, and estimated cost for Little 4 Mile Creek Stream Restoration Project and 4 Mile Creek Tributary Stream Restoration Project. Numbers 18 and 19 are resolutions approving right of entry and temporary construction easement agreements and maintenance agreements with the Central Iowa Hospital Corporation and Woodland Reserve Townhome Association for the 4 Mile Creek Tributary Stream Restoration Project. Number 20 is resolution approving amendment to agreement for services with Houston Engineering for the Harding Wetland Project. And number 21, resolution approving a right of entry and temporary construction easement agreement with Ronald and Vicki Carlson.
So moved. Second.
Holm?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Connolly?
Yes.
Altringer? Yes. McCoy?
Yes.
Number 22, resolution authorizing the Downtown Events Group use of the Wagner parking lot and the lot located at 122nd Avenue for vendor staging at the Farmers Market.
Move. Second.
Roll call?
Second.
Holm?
Yes.
Hawkinsmith?
Yes.
Connolly?
Yes.
Altringer? Yes. McCoy?
Yes.
Number 23, resolution approving agreement with Irely Ball Community Mental Health Services to provide well elderly counseling for Polk County Senior Services participants. And number 24, resolution approving agreement with Des Moines University for non-clinical educational experiences with students in the Doctor of Occupational Therapy program.
Move together. Second.
Second.
Roll call?
Holm?
Yes.
Hawkinsmith?
Yes.
Connolly?
Yes.
Altringer? Yes. McCoy?
Yes.
Number 25, resolution approving release of mortgage for 1418 12th Street.
So moved. Second.
Roll call?
Second.
Holm?
Yes.
Hawkinsmith?
Yes.
Connolly?
Yes.
Altringer?
Yes.
McCoy?
Yes.
Number 26, resolution approving agreement with the International Rescue Committee for emergency funding to reimburse costs associated with providing resettlement services to Polk County refugees and immigrants.
Move.
Move.
Second.
Roll call?
Second.
Roll call?
Holm?
Yes.
Hawkinsmith?
Yes.
Connolly?
Yes.
Altringer?
Yes.
McCoy?
Yes.
Number 27, resolution approving Leads Online LLC subscription services agreement and order form for investigatory database access. And number 28, resolution approving amendment to Law Enforcement Services 28E agreement with the Sadell Community School District for law enforcement services and one school resource officer.
So moved. Second.
Roll call?
Holm?
Yes.
Hawkinsmith?
Yes.
Connolly?
Yes.
Altringer?
Yes.
McCoy?
Yes.
Number 29 is resolution approving agreement for investment advisory services with Creative Planning. Number 30, resolution approving fiscal year 25-26 general increases for non-bargaining unit employees. And number 31, resolution approving position modification within the Board of Supervisors office.
So moved. Second.
Roll call?
I have a question.
Sure.
Hold it. On 31, I think it is, the last one about, the Board of Supervisors. Just so I'm clear, that is creating a fourth position under the board. I just trying to understand, for decades we went from 2 to 3, and now we're gonna have 4 executive assistants to the board. Wanted to know if we did it go through any kind of compensation study that we spent so much money on, or are we bypassing all that, the HR positions and pay possibly, is it conflict? And, I mean, we just had a budget session a couple weeks ago about employee creep, and I don't know, is there something I'm missing here? I don't understand, I guess. Now we're gonna have 4 executive assistants to the board. Is that
Fine.
correct? Is that what this is for?
Frank, go ahead and take the
Yeah.
question now.
Yeah, so that is an addition of an executive assistant to the board for support staff. It's part of a larger plan of expanding the duties and functions of those assistants, in part also to address some needs in other board areas, especially grants, which for a long time has needed additional resources. So it's really meeting a short-term need. It doesn't necessarily counter to our long-term plan of attrition, but again, it's expanding the functions of all those roles, which will really provide efficiency in the board office.
I'd like to ask a question, but I'd just as soon ask it from Josie. Josie, could I ask a question, please?
Josie Lewis, HR.
Thank you. So my question is, with these change in responsibilities, would there be any, have we taken a look at compensation for those positions and based on the change in responsibilities?
So two things. When there's a request for a new position, it's either a request for a new position that the county doesn't currently have. And in those situations, we go through creating a job description, classing the position, all of that. When it's a request for a current position to be added FTE, we currently have the job description, supervisors assigned, and when I say supervisors, I'm not meaning all of you, I'm meaning the manager who oversees those positions assigns work for that position. So in this case, since it's a current position in the Board of Supervisors office, the board would be assigning duties based on the need of the board.
Because my understanding is the administrative assistant in the board office now will be moved out of our office and performing completely different functions than they were when they were in the board office. Is that correct?
I would defer to the board on how they're going to assign duties for these positions.
No, to answer your question, no. So we have duties, responsibilities, primary, secondary functions that we're moving around, but no, it falls within the classification. We're also gonna take, I've worked with HR, a 12-month look and evaluate it again, but no, to answer your question.
Well, we wouldn't know any of these reorganization ideas because we're kept out of the loop. So maybe if we knew how this organizational chart was looking, I wouldn't be asking the questions. Either way, we're adding a new position when everybody thought we were adding too many positions.
It's the way it appears, Angela.
So this would have been part of the weekly update that was sent out to all board members. Information was made available, and as always, I'm available for any questions, so I believe everybody was well aware.
Oh, I was aware you were putting this on the board agenda.
All right, it's been moved and seconded, so.
Roll call?
Holm?
Yes.
Hawkinsmith?
No.
Connolly?
Nope.
Altringer?
Yes.
McCoy?
Yes.
And I am assuming that that was just on 31.
Yes,
Okay, can we do a vote on 29 and 30?
sure.
So you need new motions for 29 and 30?
Yes.
One moment here. Okay. Motions for 29 and 30?
So moved.
I'll move it.
Second?
Holm?
Yes.
Hawkinsmith?
Yes.
Connolly?
Yes.
Altringer?
Yes.
McCoy?
Yes.
Numbers 32, 33, and 34 are resolutions abating property taxes for Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Iowa, Kingdom Living Iowa, and Emmanuel Chin Baptist Church. And number 35, resolution approving community development grant for Capitol Park Neighborhood Association.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Yes.
Smith?
Yes.
Connolly?
Yes.
Altringer?
Yes.
McCoy?
Yes.
Number 36, resolution approving community development grant for Healthy Birthday. Number 37, resolution approving community betterment grants. And number 38, resolution approving community sponsorship awards.
I move the resolutions collectively.
Second.
Roll call?
Yes.
Hawkinsmith?
Yes.
Connolly?
Yes.
Altringer?
Yes.
McCoy?
Yes.
Number 38A, resolution approving ERA2 interest earning funding to Central Iowa Shelter and Services for critical safety infrastructure repairs to the emergency shelter facility.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, at this time,
I've
I'd
got
like
a
to,
comment to make
okay.
on this also.
Angela, there is a guest to speak. Do you want to allow her to speak, or do you want to make your comments before she speaks? Melissa is here
You can
from...
speak if you'd like.
Okay, Melissa, please
That's cool.
come forward and just give us a brief update on how you're going to use these funds and what some of your challenges are with Central Iowa Shelter and Services as it relates to the greater community and some of the conversations you had this morning with MAC and the Metro Advisory Council.
Absolutely. Thank you, Supervisors, again, for the opportunity to speak. I'll start with your first question on how the funds will be utilized. So the first $298,000 will be utilized for critical infrastructure related to lighting, security cameras, and a fire panel that's now out of code that we need to get updated. So those three items specifically go to overall safety concerns that we have within our facility. Regarding the follow-up conversation that we just had with Municipal Advisory Council this morning, I do think it's important for the community to know that we have made a decision due to financial concerns to cap our facility at 150 lives in our building. 100 for men, 50 for women. We will have overflow of 20 additional cots available for communities that we have a current 28E agreement with and a contract with, just to make sure we're honoring those commitments. And those communities are the City of West Des Moines, City of Clive, and the City of Waukee. I also think it's important at this point in time to recognize that this was not an easy decision. Our board of directors really put a lot of time and energy behind this decision over the last 8 to 12 weeks, specifically going back to how and why our building was created in the first place. In 1992, 5 people perished on the streets of Des Moines because they were denied shelter. And so this decision to cap our facility weighed very heavy on our hearts, as we also tried to work to make sure we have a balanced budget and that we're here to provide support long-term. So to answer that question specifically on what is the cost of doing weather amnesty, we do not get any financial support from anybody. This is all really community donor dollars, our churches, our faith community stepping up. In just a 10-day period in January under weather amnesty, the expense was $100,500. And that extra cost was not only due to the rate of having additional staff to make sure we had a safe work environment, but off-duty officers that are also in our building 24 hours a day. So those extra costs are really starting to weigh financially on CISS. And I'd be happy to go into more details on the additionals if that's something the supervisors would like. But as we look into FY 26's budget, that cost now escalates to $136,000. The off-duty officers in our building have, over this last winter, really addressed some major concerns regarding behavior, mental health, and substance abuse that's happening in and around our facility, and have requested a second officer which is not something that they typically have done. And that's the increased cost that we're starting to see. Plus the cost of having an off-duty officer has escalated quite a bit over my 9 years doing this work to now over $100 an hour. Competing with Mercy Hospital and the Walmart on 14th Street to get the officers even willing to take a day in our building. So escalated costs, escalated need for security as we continue to try and be here to serve the residents of Polk County.
Melissa, just for everybody's understanding, at the Metro Advisory Committee this morning, you had some conversations about not only the cap, but also weather amnesty.
Yeah.
How are you going to proceed moving forward
Yeah.
as it relates to these topics and community conversations?
Well, I think that's what we're really hoping for, Supervisor, is more community conversation about not only the wear and tear on our facility, on our programming, and on our staff, but to really truly wrap our head around the need for additional emergency shelter when it comes to homeless service providers, not just with CISS, with our peers as well. Whether we're working on prevention or stabilizing people through permanent supportive housing, we need to continue to escalate and have more conversations with our community. We understand the financial implications of this. We understand the concerns that are going to be in the downtown community, and we really hope that we can keep having conversations so we're prepared for next winter. You know, what does it look like 9 months from now? And is there opportunities to come back to the table financially to say we can help support this so that we can continue to do it? But at this point in time, we just have to draw the line.
And can you tell me about the cost of your day programming, providing day services at the
Yeah,
shelter?
so our cost per person is $66 per day, and that's kind of that all-inclusive. That's overnight shelter, 3 meals a day, full case management support, our job training programs, and then obviously all the laundry that we have to do, and the utility bills, and the extra security that we have. So all of those things are built into that $66. So think about it as full wraparound supports and services. The day services hours are changing as well. Basic business hours, 8 to 4. We are no longer going to be providing breakfast and dinner to everyone who's unsheltered in the community. We're really staying focused on those who are choosing to spend the night in the building, but then also free lunch again available to everybody during that 8 to 4, as well as all the showers for people that are unsheltered, our clothing closet, our food pantry. All of those will be available through those regular day service hours.
Thank you.
Yep.
Angela, do you have any questions at this time? Supervisor Conley, do you have any questions for Melissa at this
I
time?
do.
Okay.
Well, just, and as a statement, I think we had an agreement last fall between CIS, the Des Moines Fire Department, Emergency Management about weather amnesty. So from last fall till now, I guess we're giving up weather amnesty as I understand it, which was about 30 to 45 days a year. So I'm really concerned about that time frame. And then I know operational funding is tough for everybody, especially the cities right now. I don't know how I wish every city would contribute to CIS, because we all know that they're not just coming from Des Moines. You know, we're probably getting people sent from all other communities to CIS. It would be nice if everybody would contribute, but that's not how it is. I just don't see how we're going to solve this issue. I'm all in support to pay this amount today. When I originally saw the resolution, it was way more than that. I don't know what happened there. I would have supported that $700,000 or $600,000 resolution also, because I think it's fair to say that the building needs to be kept up for maintenance. But I'm happy to support this resolution, but I would like her to figure out how we're going to keep this in operation so that she can continue to meet this weather amnesty and exceed the 150 beds or days. So I'm hoping that the community can step up. We cannot continue to go down this path, and I don't think the cities can alone, the city of Des Moines, do it by themselves.
Angela, I really appreciate those comments. Weather amnesty is something that, again, our board of directors, even as we made the decision, there was a very serious pause as to what happens if somebody's denied shelter. And this does not rest easy on us at all. I think we're gonna have just as many sleepless nights trying to figure out how we're gonna sustain it. And so please know that we're absolutely willing to work with people around the community. I also think there's two other points that are really important. First, we were not related to this decision on a call with peer shelter service providers across the state, and there were a few of them on that call that mentioned that they were only at 75% occupancy, and they were also not doing weather amnesty. So to your point specifically, it's how do we get everyone to really do their part across the state, not just here in Polk County. That is definitely a heavy lift and something we're working closely with the Iowa Finance Authority on. The second point is year to date, CISS has spent $250,000 of homeless prevention, diversion, rapid resolution funds outside of Polk County, specifically to keep people in their hometowns. The highest one is Powesheik County that we recently spent $75,000 just again on our fiscal year of July 1 to today. Warren County is second at $25,000. So we are working really hard to help support people in their hometowns so they don't have to come to Polk to begin with. And we're going to continue to do that, but those are heavily on federal dollars.
Thank you, Melissa. Thanks for your comments, Angela. As it relates to the phase, this was the first phase of the capital needs for Central Iowa Shelter, and at the request of the supervisors to take it slower, we wanted to address the immediate needs, which was the electrical and security camera needs, which are immediate. And then there is a second phase that will contain the remainder of those funds that you mentioned earlier. And what we're doing is completing cost analysis and estimates for the second portion of that funding. So we'll probably be back before the board on March 25th to address that second phase of this contribution to CIS for the ERA funds. At this time, I'd entertain, oh, okay, roll call, excuse me.
Holm?
Yes.
Hawkinsmith?
Yes.
Connolly?
Yes.
Altringer?
Yes.
McCoy?
Yes.
38B, resolution approving terms of engagement with Lane and Waterman LLP.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
I have a couple, make sure I understand this correctly. So this item is going to cost the taxpayers of this county between $750,000 and $1 million, from my understanding. Is that correct? Can anyone answer that?
I believe the rates are contained in the resolution, but there's not an.
There's a fiscal impact, my understanding, of $750,000 to $1 million, just to make sure the record shows that.
I don't believe that's the case. I don't think there is a,
So are they gonna work for us for free then?
no, I think their hourly rate is 385 an hour and 285 an hour as it relates to attorney hours.
Yeah, normally outside counsel would give the rates and then assess the case, and so they wouldn't have made that assessment up to this point, but, no, I wouldn't see a scenario where it would cost nearly that much, at least in the conversations that I've had with outside
Well,
counsel.
we'll revisit it again then, when we're getting done paying the bill. That's all I got.
Holm?
Yes.
Hawkinsmith?
Yes.
Connolly?
Yes.
Altringer?
Yes.
McCoy?
Yes.
38C, resolution approving settlement agreement between Polk County and John Norris.
I'll move it.
Second.
Second.
Roll call?
Holm?
Yes.
Hawkinsmith?
Yes.
Connolly?
Yes.
Altringer?
Yes.
McCoy?
Yes.
Communications, number 39, Polk County Agricultural Extension Council Certificate of Organization.
Refer to Public Works and County Attorney. Receive and file.
Number 40, City of Des Moines, notification of public information meeting on the East Army Post Road and Southeast 36th Street Roundabout Project. Number 41, City of Ankeny, notice of consultation concerning the proposed amendment number 4 to the amended and restated 1991 City of Ankeny Urban Renewal Plan. And number 42, City of Altoona, notice of public hearing concerning 80/20 voluntary annexation, including land without the consent of owner within an urbanized area.
Refer to Public Works and County Attorney. Budget actions.
There are none.
Memorandum of appointments.
Move to approve.
Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Roll call?
Holm?
Yes.
Hawkinsmith? Connolly?
Yes.
Altringer?
Yes.
McCoy?
Yes. At this time, are there any board member comments?
Yes, Chairman, I would ask that our county administrator work on a communication plan for the county. There seems to be many voices with the county, and I come from an organization where we had a point of contact singular, so perhaps working with HR and this board and a communications team come back with like a public information officer, which cascades the messaging through the county. So there's that singular one message, one point of contact for the county, and that the media and everyone knows who to go to. And the message is unified and represents all aspects of the county. So if you can work on that, I would appreciate that.
Okay, I can do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a public information officer, Mark.
Then we need to look into beefing up the roles and responsibilities and also clarifying with all staff that the public information officer should be the point of contact for media.
Well, that would be good if everybody went to him instead of ramrodding everything else. That's a good idea.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, we would move into a closed session.
Number 46, closed session, to discuss strategy with counsel in matters that are presently in litigation or where litigation is imminent, where its disclosure would be likely to prejudice or disadvantage the position of the governmental body in that litigation pursuant to Iowa Code Section 21.5C.
So moved.